I'm probably the only person up here who doesn't have the technical background. I kind of come at this from a political and economic perspective. I'm a landowner. I grew up on a farm in Wayne County, Pennsylvania, about a couple hours from here. And I got involved in this. I was a consultant, and still am a consultant for many years, working with communities and with private consultants or private clients on development projects and also communities on zoning ordinances and things of that nature. And I got involved in this because my family signed a lease, and I signed a lease. And I realized that it wasn't going as well as I wanted it to in the DRVC region, where we don't have regulations allowing this yet, so I got involved. And I got involved in promoting this, and I was asked to take on a charge by an Energy in Depth, which is an industry-sponsored organization, to run their campaign for natural gas development in this county and about 10 other counties in Pennsylvania and a similar number in New York State. So this is a great opportunity for me to promote something that I believe in. And why do I believe in it? Because the rural areas of Pennsylvania and New York are suffering. And if you don't believe it, go out and look at them. Look at the areas that don't have gas drilling. You'll see that the western part of Pennsylvania and the western part of New York State are experiencing a mass exodus. We're seeing populations, counties regularly losing their population. We're seeing them go downhill. We're seeing in western New York, you can go to towns like the town of Perry, for example, which is practically a ghost town. We're aging rapidly. We're having median ages that are well over 40 years now. We've got populations as much as 20% are over 65 years of age. Our school enrollments are declining. We've lost our manufacturing for the most part. And we're reliant upon government and institutional employment, which is not a good thing. Our tourism is soft, it's poor paying, and we know we don't have much of a construction industry. At least we haven't had for the last 3 or 4 years. Pretty much dead, particularly in my area. And agriculture is not going very far either. I've done a lot of agricultural economic development consulting, and we're not making a lot of progress there with that. We're holding our own, and that's about it. So, this presents a great opportunity for us, and it's one we can't ignore. And I would point out there are a number of other factors as well, because the people who can benefit the most are not the areas that I just talked about, but urban consumers. If you look at what's happening in New Jersey, if you look what's happening in New York City, if you look what's happening in northeastern Pennsylvania where there's natural gas, with companies like UGI, people are saving hundreds and thousands of dollars per year. New Jersey, the average saving is $500 per year from natural gas pricing that currently exists. That's a tremendous saving. And when we went to speak at Brooke College a couple of months ago, I pointed out to the students, similar group to what you have here, a little smaller, and I told them, do you realize that this building that you're in is heated by steam, and that steam is generated by natural gas? And I asked them, what right do you think you have to tell us that we can't provide for your comfort, that you deserve that comfort, but we can't be comfortable providing it for you? And I think that's an essential question. And I would point out that other places, even Ithaca, where Tony comes from, are dependent upon gas. And even some of our speakers live in gas-heated homes. I want you to think about that, because we all have a stake in this. Every type of energy demands something we don't like. Every single type. And if you don't believe me, I want you to think about solar and wind, because we hear a lot of people talking about the fact that, oh, we need to get off fossil fuels. We need to do that immediately. Let's just stop. Let's just do it right now. Well, the fact is you can't do that. We're probably not going to get much in renewables for at least the next 30 years. We'll get more of it, to be sure, but we're going to do it at great cost. It costs about 100 times the subsidies to do solar and wind than it does to do natural gas. And in fact, in Europe, we hear about Europe going 20%. Well, that's 20% of capacity, installed capacity. It's not what's produced. In fact, the real problem with solar and wind is it's intermittent. It doesn't exist all the time. So you've got to store the stuff. You've got to store the power. And you've got to transport the power, which means tremendous disturbance. Tremendous disturbance. And to do that storage, you've got to use something called rare earth elements that are only available, for the most part, in Russia, China, and South Africa. Those have to be mined at great environmental risk, and at great cost, and at great damage to our national security. And we need to be thinking about that. And we need to be thinking about how much land is used in a wind development. I represent wind developers. I'm working right now on a wind project. So I believe in it, but I also recognize that it has its downsides. And one of those is it consumes a vast amount of land in a permanent way, which gas does not do. Gas does not consume land in a permanent way. Wind does. And it also involves a large amount of land disturbance. So all the problems we think we have with natural gas, there's similar problems with every form of energy. This one is right here. We have an opportunity to use it. We have an opportunity to improve our communities, to save our urban consumers a lot of money, and we have a great opportunity to move forward in making this country energy independent. So I believe in this, believe in it with my whole heart, and I believe we're making tremendous progress in doing this the right way, and it should be a part of our future. Thank you.